Here I am at the base of the Torres del Paine, looking a bit cloudy at the top, but kind of looks mysterious. I like it. Welcome to Patagonia.
Patagonia is a pilgrimage for hikers. At the edge of the earth, the W Trek is iconic, taking you through windswept valleys, over giant glaciers and to towering granite spires. It truly is the ultimate bucket list adventure. And it all starts here, in Puerto Natales, one of the most southern settlements on the planet, also known as the edge of the world.
We are all packed and set for our adventure today. We got up a bit late, so we're cutting it super fine for this bus.
I don't know why we thought we had the luxury of snoozing today.
There is a bus leaving from that terminal. Really hope it is not our bus.
You present your ticket and passport before jumping on another shuttle to the Welcome Centre, the start of the trail.
Already the scenery looks amazing.
It's pretty confusing, but what we've worked out is that the bus leaves us here and there's another transfer thing that we take to the start of the trail. What helps is that there are loads of other people walking in the same direction. You can see the base of the Torres del Paine. We've now reached the Welcome Centre. A lot of other people here also with backpacks. Everyone is starting their trail here. Yeah, I'm surprised how built up this is. Like, it's a proper building which sells loads of stuff. Sam's getting coffee inside and then we're going to start our trail. Very excited.
There are two ways you can complete the W Trek, west to east or east to west. Now we're going east to west. This means we're doing the hardest part of the trail first, and we get that out of the way, the steep climb up to the base of Las Torres. But we're mainly doing it because of availability of the campsites.
We have started the trail. We are on the way to Refugio Chileno, which is our first night's camp.
As the trek started, I thought, what's not a better way than starting the trek with the coffee? It was a machine coffee that cost £4, but we'll tell Kiran that.
We walk through the open flat meadows before long reaching the first landmark, Hotel Las Torres.
We also saw some people doing horse riding here, which looks like a great spot to do it, but it seems to be a lot more structured and secure than the horse riding that we did in Colombia a couple of weeks ago. Our guy at the reception of our hostel said, if you're going to see wildlife, this part of the trail is one of the best parts to do it. One of the famous things that you can spot here, quite rarely, is pumas. That would be unbelievably cool and scary at the same time. Yeah, that would be epic. Eyes peeled for pumas.
The trail continues towards a bridge over the Rio Ascencio before we enter the Ascencio Valley.
We're now walking through the first of many footbridges with the glacier water underneath. Welcome to Patagonia. Tomorrow we will be heading that way, but today we're heading this way. We're at the little, like, pointy bit of the W.
The butt of the W.
The butt.
The valley opens up behind me and almost instantly, the Ascencio River winding far below, the plains fading in the distance and that huge Patagonian sky overhead.
We've actually been pretty lucky with the weather because they talk about experiencing all 4 seasons in one day here. It's starting to get a little bit tough now. It's not really the walking, it's more the carrying of stuff. 5 days worth of food in your backpack. It's the bit that's getting a bit heavy. Look at that view. And also this big rock on this side which has these marks like it's been carved out by glacier.
We pass horses transporting supplies in the autumnal valley below. The path cuts along the side of the mountain, skirting these steep, weathered cliffs, and every time I look back, the view just gets bigger.
Last little stretch before we get to Chileno, which I think is just going to be there around that little mountain. Look at that valley.
It really feels like a moment you properly leave the lowlands and step into the heart of the Torres del Paine.
What's funny is that on the map, those little crossings where we cross over the glacier water falling from the mountain are listed as fill-up points for water bottles. Also, we made a tragic mistake. I made all these cheese sandwiches yesterday and we left them in the fridge. So that is our lunch for today and also lunch for tomorrow as well. We're compromising and we've rejigged the meals that we're going to have and we'll make it work. It really does feel like we're in like a Western game, like we've been on an adventure and we're arriving into this new village and there are some horses tied up here.
And 2 hours later, we've arrived at the campsite, Chileno.
We are currently inside the reception area of this Refugio Chileno, which is really nice. It's kind of like a skiing mountain cabin. From here, it's about 2 hours up and 2 hours down to Torres del Paine. And then tomorrow, we're going to maybe try up and go again for sunrise. It's really nice inside here, actually.
Lunch is super exciting today. Oats for energy, dried fruits for vitamins, raisins for fiber, and a melted Snickers bar for the taste, all accompanied with a drip coffee, before dumping our big bags in the corner and hitting the road again.
How epic that we're going to be sleeping in these tents in this forest built up just next to these giant granite cliffs. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The Mirador Las Torres, the base of the towers, is the most iconic spot in Chilean Patagonia, famous for its 3 giant granite spires with a glacial lagoon. But they're notoriously cloudy and unpredictable, and it's the hardest, steepest part of this whole trek. So to increase our chances, we decided to hike the same day to the towers. So if it was cloudy or we wanted to see it in a different light, we could repeat the hike for sunrise the next day. Now this is definitely not what everyone does, but hey, we're at the edge of the world and so far from home, we're only here once.
Feels so good not to have the big bags on us.
Cut through the forest into the open valley, making some friends along the way before the rocky ascent.
Yeah. We can see where we're meant to be going. I think it's going to get a lot steeper now. It says no pooping.
And that's where the real challenge started. Rocks and rocks. We climb the rocky staircase with huge boulders and broken granite around us, and it truly does feel like a relentless climb.
Unfortunately, the towers are currently shrouded in cloud, but we'll see. People who's going up has the preference. I has the preference. There was this lady eating an avocado, but like we eat apples, just like she peeled a bit of the skin and she was just eating it like an apple, which I love.
You can really feel and see the people slowing down on the grey rocks, but then the first glimpse of the towers ahead.
Wow.
That's very cool.
Oh, you can see the lake as well. Wow.
It's difficult to describe this beauty, but the granite cliffs towering above you with the rich blue glacial lake is something really special.
That is unbelievable. Just the size of these giant blocks of granite and these tens of waterfalls falling into this really blue lake. Here I am at the base of the Torres del Paine, looking a bit cloudy at the top, but kind of looks mysterious. I like it. Welcome to Patagonia.
Now, this is a really common spot to come and have lunch, and you can really understand why. We sat here, took in the view, and watched the clouds roll through.
It's very, very scenic up here, and I'd recommend bringing some food because it's quite a long way up and you want to sit and admire the views.
We didn't bring enough food.
No.
But we made some friends and they didn't have enough water, so we gave them some water and they gave us some food. So all is well.
Oh, a slice of pizza.
This is an unbelievable view though.
It is. This is one of those things where you see photos of and it looks impressive, but it's even more impressive in real life. I just don't think you can understand unless you see it in person.
We spent around an hour or so just hanging out by the lake, watching the view, and so now we are making the treacherous journey back down to camp where we'll be staying overnight. So, see you guys there. Down is always worse than glowing up when it comes to hiking, especially when you're sliding across these rocks. We reached our camp, collected our key, and then sat to eat as we were starving from the walking. On the menu tonight is a cheeky noodle soup. I also added a bit of a garlic powder and vegetable stock to it.
I've looked forward to this pot noodle all day, all afternoon.
Now they do sell these little pizzas at camp that they can put in these ovens, but they were pretty expensive and we'd already spent enough on a tent that we needed to save some of that precious moolah. Our tent was pre-erected and on stilts in the forest.
The official highest one up.
The tent that we've been allocated is the highest tent of all of the tents that have been pre-erected. We had to climb up again.
We are now inside of our tent and I'm so surprised at how nice this is and how roomy it is. This would be like a 4-person tent, I think.
Woohoo!
Basically, you climb a ladder to get inside. There's a little pouch where you can put your boots in. And then we paid for a sleeping bag and a pillow. So they're both inside already here with us.
It's super cozy. We've got loads of room.
Home for the next 24 hours.
The Chileno campsite is surprisingly nice. As the light faded, it was time to shower in the beautiful showers, brush, and then head to bed, because tomorrow we're heading up again. If the steep climb to the towers wasn't enough today, we made the decision to go again tomorrow for sunrise. Now, no one else we met was doing this, and it would really turn out to be a very interesting mistake, but catch it in episode 2. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.